The Steamers in Cleveland tonight going against the Cleveland Force, and the Steamers rolled to an overtime win over Cleveland, 3-2. Here's the way that action took place. After Cleveland had a 1-0 second quarter lead, Kenny McDonald snuck one in to tie it at 1 for the Steam Machine. Steamers took a 2-1 lead in the second half on that hard shot by Don Ebert. But after Cleveland had tied it with 2 minutes left and sent the game to overtime, it was Armando Betancourt pounding one in to give the Steamers their 3-2 win. This was the shot that won it in overtime. That final again in OT in Cleveland, the Steamers 3 and Cleveland 2. There is joy in some of the basketball camps tonight, but there is heartbreak in others. Loyola's Ramblers surprised SMU 70-57 this afternoon. Carl Golston was red hot from the outside, hitting jumpers just like this one. 20 points. As you see Golston go up there, he had 20 on the game. Ramblers eliminate the Mustangs by a score of 70-57 in the East Regional, and Coach Jim Sullivan was a happy Irishman.
And you saw the real Carl Golston today. He had a little off game the other night because he got the 2 early fouls, kind of took him out, but he was outstanding today. We'll play Georgetown. I like to rest on it for today and figure out, I don't know how you play them. They're a great team.
And in the other East Regional game, the Georgetown Hoyas left little doubt that they are the team to beat if you want to win the NCAA title. The Hoyas turned on their power today to down Temple 63-46. The Temple cheerleaders were dreaming the impossible dream before the game. They were hoping their Owls would upset Georgetown. Here's Patrick Ewing, though, letting everybody in the gym know that he came to play. And he came right back after that humongous stuff with another jam. Later in the second half, Nate Blackwell's jumper from the top of the key cut the Hoyas' lead to 8, but Georgetown was powered by moves like that one by Michael Jackson through the inside, and Reggie Williams put it out of sight underneath for the Hoyas. They win it, Georgetown 63, Temple 46. Notre Dame at home in the Southeast Regional lost a heartbreaker to North Carolina at the buzzer, 60-58 on a costly turnover. First half action, Notre Dame takes the first lead. Jim Dolan hits a long shot there. The lead seesawed in the second half. Kenny Smith putting the Tar Heels up by 6 on a long jumper. The score tied at 58 with seconds left when the freshman Danny Rivers lost it. Smith grabbed it, stuffed it. 3 seconds left on the clock, and the final was North Carolina 60, Notre Dame 58. Wayman Tisdale and company, better known as the Oklahoma Sooners, were pressed for a while by a scrappy Illinois State Cardinal team, but in the late going, Oklahoma got tough. They won it 75-69. Things were still close when we picked up the action in the second half. Darrell Kennedy with that alley-oop to Tisdale. Oklahoma came right back. Tim McAllister with a big jump shot. And Anthony Bowie. Watch this one in slow-mo because it's one of the better moves we saw all day long. A great inside move and a swooping layup. The final was Oklahoma 75, Illinois State 69. In the other Midwest regional game, Louisiana Tech pounded Ohio State by a score of 79-67. In the West Regional, St. John's downed Arkansas 68-65. Kentucky beat UNLV 64-61. In bowling, Don Gianallo won the King Louis Bowling Open in Kansas City. He rolled a 258 to Jim Miller's 246. Watch how the drama developed. Jim Miller throwing the ball here in the 10th, a tough split. It's enough to give you a headache when you see this standing. But he hung in there. He got the 2 pins, even though he didn't think he would at that point. He put Don Gianallo on the hot seat with this shot, and a beautiful bowling shot it was. Gianallo up to the challenge, though, as Miller hung his head waiting. Gianallo gets 9. That guarantees him a tie in the match, and he wins it by nailing down the spare with concentration right here. Good form, picked it up, 258, 246 the final, $21,000 to Don Gianallo. And in Golden Gloves out at Kiel Auditorium tonight, Paul James in dark trunks, decision Pat Kellett in the 156-pound class. Bob Rinkovich had Kenneth Hayden of Wellston on the canvas repeatedly in their 165-pound bout, but Hayden won the decision, and it was not too popular with the Kiel Auditorium crowd. Newsroom's Tim Van Gelder, the ringside announcer. Charles Oliver in the white top as we pick up the action in the third bout, won a decision over Greg Spies in the 178-pound class. A good crowd on hand for the 16 bouts still going on up at Kiel Auditorium. One more local story, this one on bowling. How about this one? 16-year-old Bill Rariker, rolling in the Blue Jean League, a junior league at DuBois in South County, rolled a 792 series this morning. The young man had 30 strikes, games of 278, 268, 246, And that's a 264 average, folks. Nice shooting, Bill. And 32 teams bowled 12 hours in the Grand Prix shootout at Tropicana today. Tonight, the Cry Bud Light Barons won the top prize of $2,500. That winning team, by the way, averaged 226 for their individual 50 games. There were 300 games rolled by Tony Mitali, Steve Mitchell, and Bud DeFrancisco. Jane Blaylock sunk a 25-foot eagle putt on 18 to take a one-shot lead over Pat Bradley after 3 rounds of the Ladies Kemper Open in Hawaii. Here's a way you don't want to have to make a shot out of the sand. That's Lori Garbisi making a miracle shot from her knees. Friends, that's a tough way to go, but she made a beautiful shot. Pat Bradley took the share of the lead with this birdie, a 4-footer on 17. And Alice Miller gives you a lesson on how to come out of that tall grass. At 18, she put it up there pretty close. But after all was said and done today, here's the way the leaderboard looked. Jane Blaylock with the lead at 7 under. Pat Bradley a shot back at 6 under. Patty Sheehan at 2 under as they go to tomorrow's final round. A daily double at Fairmount tonight. Number 3, Pure Play. Number 5, Lucky Rube. Paid $173.40. And Dave Gall rode both of the double winners. That's a pretty high payoff when Gall rides because most people bet him down every race.
Okay. Thank you, sir.